Hey YouTube, I'm back today with another recipe, and today will be Hawaiian style Loco Moco. So here's what you need. Rice that we will boil in a minute, flour for the gravy, Worcestershire sauce to put in the hamburger, some chopped minced onion, and it's dried, that I'm going to add a little bit into my hamburger and save a little bit for the gravy. Salt and pepper, because I don't like a lot of seasonings in a hamburger or the hamburger. And some eggs, and I'll show you what to do with that. Because you think you know what I'm going to do with the eggs. I'm not. So anyways, let's get started on this dish. Okay, I just added my rice into some boiling water. It will come back up in a minute. And we're just going to let that boil. And if you want to steam it, you can. But I'm not going to steam this. I'm just going to let it boil, strain it, and rinse it with some cold water to get rid of a lot of the starch. And that's probably why I didn't really, as you see here, it's pretty starchy. But it's okay because I'm going to drain it. And I always wash it with cold water after I finish the cooking process of the rice. And I'm going to stir this also. Okay, and I have my Worcestershire sauce, but you don't have to add it, but I just love the flavor with hamburger. And I'm going to take a few sprinkles, probably about 2 teaspoons or so, of the minced chopped garlic. I'm sorry, minced onion. If I said garlic earlier, oops, but it's onions. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the salt and pepper mix. I'm going to thumb, kind of thumb the salt because I don't really like a lot of salt, as you know. So I'm just going to take the rest of the black pepper side and put it in there. But you can use any type of seasoning as you like. And we are just going to take these, mix it up together. And I am not adding the eggs, even though the eggs are still sitting there. Hello. I'm not going to add the eggs. I'm going to put it in a pan. If you saw one of my previous videos, I think it was the teriyaki burger. I always like to put water in the bottom of my pan to keep it from sticking and keeps it pretty much, that's my oven telling me it's ready. But I'm going to just put this, boil them up into patties, and I'll show you, and put a little bit of water to keep the water at the bottom of the pan, just to keep the burgers moist. But that's just my personal preference. Okay, so we're going to just make these up, and I'll be back to show you what they look like before we pop them in the oven. This dish is really simple. Okay, and I'm about to pop these in the oven, and this is it. And I just placed a little water, as I told you, for, I don't know, my mom taught me that as a tip to keep the burgers kind of, per se, moist and juicy. So, because if you don't, the grease and everything, and I think you lose a lot of the flavor and the natural oils from the meat, if that's a word. So anyways, we're going to pop this in the oven. Okay, I've started my process of making the oil. The flour that you saw earlier, it is going into the saucepan to make the gravy. And I'm just going to add some of the minced onion that I added into the hamburger. And some of the salt and pepper. The good thing about gravy, once it's done, or you added your liquids and everything in it, you can go back and taste it to see if you need some more seasoning. I just like salt and pepper in mine, but feel free to choose and add what you like. So we're just going to let this brown to the color of the gravy that you like, and then we'll pour our water into the pan after that. But I like mine a dark brown, so I'm just going to keep stirring it, because if you stop and then pour the water, it will be clumpy. So I was taught by my mother that you pretty much just keep stirring, and the onions are going to brown because they're onions and they're already, pre-done. So I'm not pre-done, but they were chopped already, so don't worry about that. They're not burnt, so it's about time to add the water to make this gravy. Okay, and here I am. Just like that. Don't worry about if you put too much water into the pan, because the more you cook it, the gravy will begin to thicken. And if it doesn't thicken, once it starts to boil, add a little bit more flour to it. And that's probably what I'm going to need to do. So I'm just going to let this come to a really rapid boil. I know the onions look great, don't they? But But I'm just going to let this come to a rapid boil. And like I said, if it doesn't thicken up, because it is pretty runny, add some more flour. See how that's starting to thicken up already? You got to be quick with it. And you turn this down. And we're just going to let this simmer, and I'm going to taste it. But then first I need to get some of the lumps out of the gravy. Just going to let that turn, and just smash the flour if you like. It's okay. I'm adding some more salt and pepper because it didn't really have any. So this needs to be turned down a little more. I'm going to put this almost into a simmer. Just a little more. Let me see. I'm going to put this down on simmer. And there is my plate for my rice. That was near my rice. So anyways, that's how I'm doing it. I just tasted it like that. The gravy calls for a little bit more flour because of the, and you may want to, if it's too thick, then just, there you go. Alright, and I'm about to show you the next step, and we are almost done. Okay everyone, I just made this up and plated it, and here we are. I've taken my rice, I've added the burger on top of the rice, and added some gravy on top of that. And I have my eggs on the side, and that's what I did with the eggs. I just fried them, and it's gonna go really good with this meal. So I hope you try this, and as always, have a great night.